Hello, this is Nicole Monahan with Monahan Studio. Today I thought we could do a little sketch of a sea turtle, and I thought we could use these. These are pretty fun. They're little pastel pencils. There's even an eraser at the end, although I don't think the eraser works all that well. But these are fun, and they come in all kinds of colors. So let's get started. We have, whenever you're drawing, sketching, it's good to sketch with basic shapes first. So even though I'm not going to draw with a graphite pencil first to sketch out my lines, I'm going to go ahead and start with the chalk pastels. You can do that even though you won't be able to erase that well. If you start with kind of a middle tone color. So I'm going to start with this kind of light blue. It's called bright blue. So we are going to start with basic shapes, and turtles, sea turtles are pretty much like an oval. I'm going to bring this down a little to make sure you can see that. Draw a little bit darker so you can see what I'm doing. When you are out in nature and observing what you see, turtles that swim in the water have a lot smoother shell on top. Tortoises that walk around out in the on land have a more rounded shell that comes up a lot more. So just be observant with how you're doing that. So we are just going to do some little stick lines of where the flippers might come out, just to kind of map out where things are going. This one that's in front will be a lot bigger than the one behind, and we've got little tiny feet in the back, and we need a head. So we'll put a head here, and again, it's just kind of sticks right now. Oh, let me move this down a little bit. Just kind of sticks. And then we can beef it up a little bit, give it some shape. And be nice and loose with my drawing. It's a sketch, and I'm just trying to capture the basic shapes. I can always add details in later. With the turtles, a lot of times people don't really observe how those shells are coming out. Their neck comes way down like this. And different turtles have different shapes of heads. So really look, if you're doing a land turtle or different water turtles, really look at how their snouts are shaped. And their shell kind of comes around. It's got to go around their head and around their legs, like that. And let's add that flipper there. So it's starting to form a little bit. Now, one thing to remember too is that you can curve your lines so that it looks more 3D. So turtles can be a lot of fun. You can add your own design to the shell, or you can try to draw what their shell is shaped, or what the pattern is on their shell. Turtles have different patterns, and it can be really fun to do some sort of geometric pattern on the shell. But however you do it, maybe I'm just going to do some stripes. Make sure you curve the lines so that will help make the shell look 3D. Okay, and you could put, all sorts of designs in here if you want. I'm going to add some little, even this can be curved a little bit. All of that will help make it look more 3D. Even with the arms or the flippers, you can put, they have a lot of really cool designs on their flippers too, or you can make your own. But when you do it, make sure you think about the shape of your turtle here, and you can really have a lot of fun with some of these shapes in here. You can add some shadows in there. Up towards the top, the shapes get a lot smaller and they get a lot bigger down here. Okay, the same with the neck. You can have a lot of fun with all the wrinkles around the neck. And then it has some shapes up here. You can again have a lot of fun with the pattern, or you can create it just how it is. Their eyes are kind of like this. And they have a bit of a beak, right? Okay. And again, we're seeing the underside of the flipper, so there may not be as big of marks as there are on this side, but you can still do some kind of squiggles and some shading. You can do some curves to really help make it look like it's 3D. And I'm going to define this bottom shell a little bit more. So see, even though I haven't done any erasing, it's still coming together, and your brain doesn't really see some of those other lines that you ended up not using just because you've darkened your lines. Now you can go in, I used blue, you can go in and add some other colors in here. It's fun to add a little bit of contrast. Again, I'm not really this is a sketch, so I'm not really spending a ton of time with the coloring. You can spend a little bit more, but sometimes it's fun when you're doing little studies on how animals are shaped and their bodies, and maybe you want to do several of them to get it right. You know, you can't always get your drawing right on the first time. It takes many, many trials to get it right. So you may want to do something a little bit more loose. And it's fun to add in a little bit of dark in here too, just to kind of define a few things. I'm keeping my arm right off the paper because this is pastel, so it if you wanted to blend it with your hand, or Q-tips work really well. If you don't, a lot of people don't like getting messy. You can use a Q-tip. They work really well because you can get in little tiny spots. So there you go. There's a little turtle sketch, and I'm going to make him smile a little bit. Give him a little nose. Alright, so there's our little turtle sketch, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Again, this is Nicole Monahan with Monahan Studio. I'm an illustrator out here in the Pacific Northwest. See you later. Bye.